Hello viewers, here we have one of 3 EXP371s. Yep, EXP371s I'm going to be repairing over the next couple of days. These are very sad. The buttons hardly work anymore. The charging contacts are so dirty, the digital security code doesn't synchronize correctly. Really horrible condition. But I do plan to restore all 3 of them. I don't think I can get this to work just for a test. I've already done the initial checkout and I've forced them to kind of work. I cleaned them a little bit, the contacts, but just out of curiosity, let's see if I can get this to work for the video. See how hard you have to press the buttons for them to actually work. You can see it is working. Number 3 is no good. End is not working very well. Talk is certainly not working very well. Let's see here. Channel is okay. Redial works. Flash works. So anyways, that's that. It's really disgusting. See all that junk in the side there. All the junk in and around the buttons. It's just deplorable. And then there's all weird junk on the top here. Actually looks like you have to soak that for a while. It's like hardened on or something. Anyways, and then of course, you know, all that junk in there. And the base is not a whole lot better. The base has its share of disgustingness on it as well. Anyways, gee, what is that? It's like, oh, that's nasty. Alright, anyways, let's begin. This is going to take a long time to get this cleaned up. You can see how heavily used this thing was. Look at the top here is worn smooth. Oh, this is disgusting. Look at that. Ugh. I don't know how people let stuff get like this. Ew, the antenna's all sticky. Those are going to have to get a serious cleaning. This is all yellowed inside of here even. Alright, let's begin. Oh, this is worth getting a shot of too. Look at that. This is nasty. Okay, that was perhaps the most difficult telephone I've ever cleaned. I think that even beats out that 900 spread spectrum I did a few weeks back. So, parts are drying. Well over an hour has elapsed since I initially started recording. So let's get this base opened up and we're going to clean this. And then while this is drying, I'll go ahead and put the handset back together. I didn't record any footage of actually cleaning the phone because I have other things to do today, and I was not expecting this to take so doggone long. But I do have another one just like this from the same person, and it's just as disgusting. So I'll record that one in full length. Okay. These contacts have got to get cleaned pretty good because they're not contacting very well. Okay, let's set this aside for now. This is what these look like. Fairly simple boards. Easy to pull these caps off and replace them if you need to. Okay, we're finally on the home stretch here with this Uniden 371. Gonna clean the contacts. Those are absolutely ridiculous. Never seen so much junk accumulated on the contact before. So we'll clean these off, and we'll clean the board off. And apparently we got to clean the receiver caps too as well, because it was so dirty that stuff actually got in there, which is unbelievable. That I have never seen happen before, and I have worked on plenty of deplorably disgusting phones. And actually, it looks like it's gotten inside there. I hope the sound still comes out okay. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Oh, there's really crazy things going on with this phone. I think what was on here was tobacco residue, as it had that very distinct stickiness to it. And that is extremely difficult to get off of things. And because this isn't working, I'm going to keep, what's not working, the buttons aren't working. Because they're not working well, I'm going to keep cleaning this. Normally I would just do it once and kind of move on, but I want to make sure we get this very clean so it has as good a chance of working as it can. think we'll leave it there. Not sure what to do about this receiver capsule. It's got, hopefully the audio comes out those other 3 holes well enough. Jeez, even this is all gross down here. I just don't understand how people let stuff get like this. I mean, if I had a telephone I was using regularly and I saw, you know, a film of disgusting something starting to build up on it, I would wipe it off. This is just ridiculous. Is this? It does come off. Perhaps easier just to go wash this in the sink. Okay, while that's drying, I've got the buttons here and we're going to test these out. Make sure these work. Oh dear. Oh, there it goes. Well, either this is not aligning perfectly, or okay, I think this is a case where the conductive material has started to wear off. So I'm going to have to get some more and put it on here. Sometimes you can fix these just by taking a pencil, because this is conductive, and just kind of getting some on there. I've had good results with this in the past, so perhaps this will work well again. That's a little better. Is this, let's see here. Let's try that. Alright, that seems to be operating pretty satisfactory. Let me get the button board, or the buttons rather. This will give me a better idea of how hard, oh no! These aren't, these have got to get soaked as well. Let's just see here. Actually, the end could use a little bit of refreshing as well. I think that'll have to do. It's not flawless, but it's not bad either. Perhaps it's time to get this thing replaced, but I'm not going to have a whole new one made for this project. So anyways, I'm going to have to go back and soak this again and let it set for a long time, because there's still a lot of remnants of junk on here. Okay, while that's soaking, I'm going to clean the charging contacts. Oh jeez. I'm gonna have to actually file these because this is not coming off. No, it's starting to come off. I think we're in about 2 something hours into this project now. Normally these take me like a half an hour. And I am certainly dreading doing the other one because this is taking so stinking long. Okay, and now we'll do the ones on the base. And now I will go retrieve the base, and perhaps we can at least put that back together. This is kind of weird how these go in here. They just I don't know. Oh, I see, they sit on that, okay. Do I see? Is that it? Huh. It doesn't seem very secure, but I guess it works. Something seems odd about the way that power thing is sitting. I guess that's just how it is. Huh. Actually, I can look on the other one and find out for sure. Yep. That's how it is. Interesting. What in the world? Okay, that's the base. Now, I don't know if the dial board is going to be ready or not. I may have to soak overnight or something. Okay, we are in day 2 of the Uniden 371 refurbish. And still some water in there. Unfortunately, it's just never going to look as good as it did when it was new because it's just too worn. On the buttons here, you can see that there's actually chunks of the plastic missing where you press it. So it's been used so much that the wear is just through the roof. And this dial pad, you can see this white stuff on the sides. That showed up after I got the face junk, or whatever you want to call it, off of there. And that was all over the front of the dial board. And this whole thing was almost white. And I had to go through numerous different things. I tried soaking it into bleach. I tried soaking it in vinegar. I soaked it in dishwashing soap. And I couldn't get it off. And it came down to actually scrubbing each individual button very aggressively with baking soda, and that kind of took it off. I just don't have the time or reason to sit there and do the sides as well, but it's not flawless and it's still on there to an extent, but I think for the most part it's at least usable and presentable now. You know, you're pushing your luck with these plastic buttons because those little flimsy connector pieces can break. So I didn't want to go too crazy with it and then having it break. And I'd rather it be discolored and usable than flawlessly clean and worthless. So this is what it is. The whole front is kind of worn down. Perhaps that's from the cleaning with the baking soda, but it is what it is. I mean, you can see even on the back of it here, the whole thing is worn shiny. You know, these normally, it would look like this. It doesn't, you know, it's a dull finish. So obviously this was handled quite a bit. So that's it. Not the best refurbish I've ever done, but given the circumstances, and I can't get any better than that. It's as good as it's gonna get. It's amazing the antenna has survived through all that use. So let's get this antenna back in place. Perhaps, perhaps not. How does this go? I thought it went like this. I have to look back on the video. Okay, that's in. Now, let's see here. I had to do some repair on the torque and end buttons. The conductive material is starting to wear down just from how many times they've been pressed. So that's not going to be 100%, but it's, again, it's good enough to be usable. What in the world? Is it supposed to come off? That's weird. That's a bizarre speaker. It's going to be rather difficult to get this thing on here without that coming off again. How in the world are you supposed to do that? Oh geez, now it's stuck in here. Am I missing something here? Maybe that just sits on there like that and doesn't actually... Oh, that can't be. It's got to go on there more. Now see, it just came off again. What in the world? Something ain't quite right here. Okay, here's the problem. There is a second piece in there that's not supposed to be in there. So now, oh jeez. Now I have to figure out how to get that out of there. That never should have come off. Okay. That's how it should be, like that. So now I gotta test it again and make sure that it's working, and then we should be able to put the thing back on. Something weird's going on with this speaker. I wonder if that's not... well, I don't think it's supposed to come apart. Yeah, because see how it's all vibrating now? Well, perhaps the dynamics of the sound will change when I get it put in here. Let's just see what happens. This has really been a headache through and through, trying to get this thing cleaned up and everything. And if it comes to turn out that the speaker's messed up too, I'm going to be really mad. Oh, come on, get in there. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. Oh no, this is, I think, out of charge. Okay, now with this in place, let's see what it what it sounds like. Okay. Did I seriously not put the battery in? That was really ridiculous. That doesn't sound right at all. No, something ain't right here. Oh, jeez. That speaker better not be messed up. I wonder how hard it would be just to solder in a new one. Perhaps I may have to do that. Of course, I gotta find one that fits just like this one does. I may have to play with this for a minute and see if I can get this to work correctly. Alright, I have this telephone here, which I've been using for parts because the dowling thing is bad. It happens to have one of these speakers in it, and it looks like it'll fit. So this 371 has a million lives. I'm going to take it out of here and put it into this one, and hopefully that'll fix it. I've never seen this happen before. I'm wondering if perhaps this was the glue separator or something like that, just because of how much debris was on the telephone. This is crazy. This project has far exceeded the time value that it has. And this phone is really a bummer that it broke. This is a 900 spread spectrum that I was not able to repair, but at this point it's now resurrected several other phones, so even though it's not able to be used to make calls. It's not going to waste either. Okay, I'm going to attempt to remove the spoiled speaker from, or the good speaker from this board. That wasn't good. Hopefully it wants to come out. It's going to be interesting because I have to get both joints at the same time, and that's not easy with one soldering iron. Of course the board is getting hot, so I can't hold it. Actually, you know what will work? What are those? MIA, just like the Allen keys still. Okay, there we go. So now we have a working speaker. I don't really care about this. Whoa, that could have been bad. I don't really care about this board because it's irreparable anyways. That's why I was being kind of reckless there. Let's get this back out of here. And now I'll try to remove the failed speaker out of the good board, one that we're trying to repair here. And with this one I will be significantly more careful because this needs to come out alive. How are we going to do this? Can't find what I want. Oh, maybe this will work. Perhaps this will grip it well. Perfect. Oh, almost perfect. Okay, so that's out. Now I suppose it would have been helpful to note the polarity before I took it out, unless it's on here. Well, whatever, we'll just have to wing it. Where's the battery? Okay, so it has to go like that. You Here, this speaker sounds pretty good. And this should be significantly easier to get it on than it was to get it off. By and large, I'd say that was correct. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's okay, that's the sound I know. So, that was a minor detour. Let's finish putting this back together here. I'm a little bit concerned about putting this back on, but I suppose this should be fine. Okay. The receiver capsule has got to go back in place. Get rid of some of these tools. I don't have any more space on the table here. Okay. Put this back in and wrestle with these ridiculous wires for the second time now. Hopefully the speaker on the other one doesn't break like that. Or honestly, what I'll probably do is just not clean that part, because I don't have any extras at this point. Although perhaps that can't be an exotic piece. I wonder if I could, I mean, not that I plan to have these fail, but I could probably buy something like this that's equivalent, because I don't think there's anything extraordinary about that. But anyways, let's get this. It's so weird. I'm used to the phones with screens. It's weird to have no display on here. Let's get this back in place. And let's just give it a test here as it is. Make sure everything is working correctly. Sounds like it should. Let's get the receiver capsule put in, and we'll screw the board down, and then we will finally be coming to a close here. I'm not completely satisfied with the way these charge contacts cleaned up, but well, I think they'll be clean enough that they'll work correctly at least. Okay, let's give it one last test here before we send it on its way. Plug in the base. Interestingly enough, the foam is not disgusting in here. Just going to borrow the power supply from this charge cradle for now, because it's the same one, same specifications. Yeah, I'd say those contacts are working pretty good. Yeah, I'm content with that. Alright. Call the test phone here. I'm not sure if it's charged up or not. It was out of charge when I came in the shop this evening because I forgot to plug it up for the night. Oh good, it looks like it has a charge. All I have to say is this better work, and it seems like it does. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. Seems to sound okay as well. I'll cycle through the buttons now. Okay. I would say that's working. And I will call it just for good measure. Seems a little bit quiet, but honestly I cannot be bothered with that at this point. Why is that? I think there's some baking soda or something on the light. There we go. Okay, calling it now. It's working. Oh, this is not working. I gotta change out the battery in that. Got a million of those batteries floating around. I don't know why I don't just put another one in. Perhaps we'll replace it right now. If this does not last one day, is worthless. And the best time to solve a problem is when you discover it. So there we go, problem solved. For another 6 or 7 years probably. Let's see, how old was that battery? This battery is 10 years old, so it's more than served its time. Oops. Okay, so that's that. This was ridiculous. I don't even know how to describe this refurbish. That was the most time-consuming, difficult refurbish I have ever done. I don't know what in the world was on there, but it was not coming off. It left a ridiculous residue, and yeah, that was a pain in the rear, and I'm dreading doing the other one. I'll grab the other one real quick just for comparison purposes. Is this the other one, or is this? Yeah, this one. I actually have 3 of these in the shop right now. This one came in with this one. Presumably they were used by the same person, although this one doesn't seem to be nearly as disgusting, so perhaps this one won't be so bad. I mean, it's still got signs of wear, but not anything exotic like this one did. Yeah, this one's definitely... Sorry, we'll need to be cleaning up this other one. Won't be so bad. But I will not be going on that adventure for a long time because I've seen enough of these phones for the next couple of weeks. So, that's wrapping this up. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and out.